Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Day wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and he wants to snip at you with them.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Okay, so first game was the Cyhawk game and also the Big Noon game, right? At Iowa State. Iowa State won 16-13. What a classic El Asico. 16-13 could have been the score of El Asico like almost any year, and I think you guys would have believed it. I could have been lying right now, and I think you guys would have bought the score. So, what a disgusting display. A fun fact: there were 0 explosive plays for both teams. Neither team put an explosive play on the board. And the passing efficiencies for both teams were terrible, but Iowa State pulled it out. Josh, would you like to take this one?
Not first. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Sean?
I don't know, man. I mean, what can you say about a game as beautiful as this? Like, it's just how is it that this game every year produces like this exact result? Oh, winner aside, I guess. But like, it's always disgusting. Why is it like that?
It's just because Iowa just drags everyone down into the mud to play their stupid game. And for the record, Iowa like really could have won this game had they not fucked up so much. Like honestly, Iowa State kind of got away with one. What usually happens to Iowa State happened to Iowa, basically, where they threw an interception and also they were running the ball insanely effectively in the second half. And got all the way down to, I want to say, the 25. I think it was like a 4th and 1 at Iowa State's 25. And they decided to take a field goal when they were running the ball that well. Like, if they show 5 seconds of aggressiveness, I think they win this game. But they just can't throw the ball at all. I think their deepest pass was like 12 yards on the day. It's to their tight end.
They had some 20-yard reception off of play action inside the 10. Their own 10. So that was pretty gutsy, all things considered.
Just run the option. Like, I don't understand why they even try to have a passing game anymore. Just admit what you are and run the option.
Dude, I thought it was going to be different for Iowa with the Gronowski kid. Like, to be...
It was.
To be the FCS, like, player of the year, whatever he was last year, 2 years ago, like, and actually, what I thought was going to be a good quarterback running that system. And I mean, I guess he only had 24 attempts, but it's like you said, it's not a lot of explosiveness and not like
he was better. That's the sad part. That was an improvement. That was an improvement over Cade. Like, absolutely. I just want to say before we let you go, correct me if I'm wrong, but Gronowski played for South Dakota State, right?
Yes.
Okay. South Dakota State played Iowa, I want to say 2 years ago, and lost 7-3. And Iowa saw that game and said that they wanted that quarterback after that game. I was like, when I saw Gronowski, I was like, is that the guy from that one game that I saw where Iowa scored 2 safeties and a field goal to get 7 points and didn't actually score a touchdown? And the answer was yes. And you know what? He was an improvement. Frankly, I think they would have put up 0 points without him. So, Josh, you want
to... What did I say the other week? Some people are made to win and others made to do something I forgot how to do. And this is just one of those things where I feel like I didn't respect the spirit of college football enough by saying that this would be like a thumping of a game. You can never predict that sort of thing in a rivalry series. I thought for once, I'm like, okay, Iowa State's the better team this time. They should handle business and get the win. It's long overdue. Like 10-point win. Oh, how decisive. And we couldn't get that. So I feel like I've been humbled, and truly that's where I'm at. I'm humbled to be a Cyclone fan, experiencing these unprecedented times where Iowa is the hard to watch, ugly team that's not even winning, has lost their last 10 games against ranked teams. Like that is a sign. There was a defensive back in Nebraska. I can't remember his name, but he's like some 3-4 star guy. And he was saying, they asked him like, "Oh, the Cyclones invited you for a campus visit. Like, why? Like, what makes you consider them?" And he said, "Well, they offered me before a lot of people, and then they beat everyone else that offered me." And that really stood out to me because at no point was that ever true. Like, like there's nobody in the division that Iowa State should be afraid of, that Iowa State doesn't directly compete with at the same level. Like, you say what you will about like Texas Tech and their investment, but you've been playing 1-score games. You just haven't handled them right. So to see a 16-13 game be handled correctly, even if you were begging to sell at different points, I'm just humbled. I'm very humbled. Someone please give me a break here.
I will say the only large change I had was the run defense. I thought played well against Kansas State and just looked horrible in the first quarter and a half against Iowa. I thought the run defense played excellent. And then they got worn out and tired, I think, and they played very poorly from that point on. And I didn't think that would happen after how well I thought they played on the ground against Kansas State. So that is a concern. Also, it took us like 2 quarters to finally just bring the safeties down and stop acting like I was going to try and throw the ball deep on us. Like, why are we running too deep? Just run a single safety and bring another guy in the box. And then as soon as we did that, we were able to bottle up their run game a little bit. And then the inevitable happened, which was they can't throw the ball. And we saw their last drive. They got the ball with what, like 45 seconds to a minute? Was it?
A minute 52.
Oh, okay. Way more time.
And a timeout.
And took what, 3 sacks? Or 2 sacks?
2 sacks.
2 sacks by Tamatoa McDonough.
That's my only conclusion is that. And, on offense, just a little sloppy. Just a lot of mistakes execution-wise. But I still feel good about the team as a whole. It's just we have a weakness on the run game and getting pressure. I mean, Iowa had a lot of time to throw the ball, and thank God it was Iowa throwing the ball, because if that was another team, we probably would have given up a lot of points.
I mean, I don't think that you can take away very much about Iowa State from this game, right? Like you said, it's Iowa forcing other teams to play their, before the invention of the godless forward pass offense. Like, they want to play a particular way. The only thing I would take away from Iowa State is like, cool, you got out there and you won a rivalry game. Like, this could have easily gone poorly.
Yeah, it's really that simple. The one program is just way better, in a way better position than the other right now.
I feel like what feels so poetic about this is that Iowa was the one that made the mistakes that they're looking back on in this one. Not just because, like, okay, you won, but like Iowa State has found ways to lose this game at home. They haven't won at home since 2011. I'm sure that was on the broadcast a bunch of times. But in this one, things just kind of fell. Literally, the ball bounced in their direction. Like on the last drive where Rocco overthrows a guy and it bounces perfectly to your tight end, who's this like, local kid who was offered to be a tackle by Iowa in his recruitment process, who makes this insane one-handed catch. You had the 2 better tight ends than Iowa had in this game. I don't know. It's so strange. Now, I will say I do feel a little better about Iowa's offense than I did at the beginning of this game.
Really?
In the second half, they started doing a delayed handoff, and that really stumped the Cyclone defense. And John's shaking his head. And this is like a very basic like adaptation to their run game. But because they know all we have is the boot, the power, the actual handoff up the middle, and the stretch zone. That's it. Then everything has to be based off of that. So like running the wishbone or whatever is how they're going to have to be successful. So I was intrigued that for one drive that took 8 minutes and some odd seconds, coming out of halftime, the Iowa offense did make an adjustment, did drive down the field, did tie the game, and give themselves a chance to win. I can't take that away from them.
Yes, they did the mesh handoff. That's what it's called. It's the like slow. I think when Wake was running this a lot, they called it like slow mesh RPO or something. But yeah, no, I don't like that. I think it's woke. We can't be having that. I mean, it's bullshit rules wise, but you know, like.
I mean, I just hate RPOs generally, but
because it's the blockers downfield bullshit. That's the problem.
Yes, it is the blockers downfield bullshit.
But they're allowing it. Iowa decided to try it. I mean, you're right. It is.
I mean, I don't even know. Were they running it as an RPO? Like,
they were.
Okay. Well, I don't think there was a pass out of there, but
no, it was. They did pass on it actually a couple times.
Okay.
Or I think once. But they were just reading the linebackers.
But,
if
linebackers
sunk, they tried through it.
Why would they pass? Like
they just have. You know what the problem is? It's like it's not even the play calling. A lot of like I mean it is, but like even when they do have a good play call, it's just like there's no one's open. Like our corners are just fundamentally our skill positions are better. So it's like we win that matchup. But okay, I mean I think there's only so many ways we can say that Iowa offense is bad, like and their defense is good, but.
Yeah, I mean, there is one more thing I can say about it though, and that's that they had a 16-minute or 16-play 10-minute drive for a field goal, and it's just like chef's kiss. It's beautiful Iowa football at its finest. It's a damn Service Academy drive. Can we move on?
Yeah. Okay. Here, just last question. Just give me. Oh well, Josh. Sorry, you go.
I had 2 notes from being at this game. One, when Iowa started doing the like slow mesh handoff, someone in the audience literally said, what the fuck? What are they doing? So the Iowa offense actually did shock and amaze someone in the stands. 2, my girlfriend and I were talking, and she has been totally locked in on football. Like, you know, anyone that's dating me has to be very patient. And she had questions about punting. And we spent like half the first half talking about like, yeah, so like possession actually flips. And depending on who touches the ball first, and here's why you would do it and when you would do it. And in that time, we had 5 different examples from each team to showcase this skill. So let's just say people were talking about punting during this game, and that just feels so right.
Okay, I just have a one question: yes or no? Do you think this is Kirk Ferentz's last year?
No.
Josh?
No. I think one thing we've established is that nobody retires when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, not because he'll retire. I would assume they're just going to let him go. Like
they're not going to fire.
opinion.
They're not going to fire Kirk Ferentz at Iowa.
No.
Dude, this season's about to be bad. I mean, it's now or never in terms of modernizing this program. Like,
Kirk Ferentz is never going to modernize, and
that's why you get rid of him. You're
but
losing your
they're also
in-state advantage.
You're right about these things, but he's a fucking institution there. Like,
Fine,
he was able to
yeah.
keep his fail son as the offensive coordinator for like 3 years of having the worst offense in like the modern history of the game. Like,
Fine. But you know what? During those years, they were winning the Cyhawk game. That's the thing. Like this, I feel like this game matters a lot for the in-state programs because if you're going to compete nationally, you have to win your state, and they're no longer doing that. But anyway, all right, fine. I mean, fair enough. Next game was USF at Florida, and USF won 18-16. Speaking of firing head coaches, do we think Billy Napier will make it out of... Do you think Billy Napier will get fired at some point in this season?
I think so.
Yeah, they've got a monstrous 6-game stretch. Like, it could get really ugly really quick if this is a game you're losing. Now, granted, I will say, partially because of this game, but like, USF is probably driver's seat for the G5 playoff team after dog walking Boise the way they did, and now beating Florida.
A ranked Florida team for some reason, but
for some reason,
they've got a road ranked win now against the SEC. Josh, did you watch this whole game? Were you able to see it?
I had to catch up on it. I guess Billy Napier's kind of a victim of his own success in a way. They finished the year strong. They had a young, promising quarterback. The talent on the roster is so promising. And a team that hadn't, proven anything was ranked top 15. And now it's just a more embarrassing way that you've lost. So I don't know if Florida is as good as we thought. It just takes a lot to be like a consistently good winning program. And they were fine, I guess, at some point in the past. But now they're going from like feisty to playoff contender, maybe. And that's a steep climb. And when you have like just really sloppy operations, like long snapper, like shoots it over the punter's head for a safety. I think they had a couple like missed kicks, some bad penalties, some poor tackling early in the season against a team that was, has already played a very big game, that already pulled out a trick play, against a ranked opponent this year. Like, one team looked ready to play and one team was still figuring it out. And it just so happened that one was the SEC team.
Yeah, as I was watching this, I really only had like one conclusion. You're being way nicer to Florida than I'm going to be, because as I was watching, I'm like, okay, USF's running back is really good. Isaac, he is very good. Other than that, it's just that Florida sucks at everything. They suck at offense, defense, and special teams. They're not good at literally anything in the game of football. They're talented. Like, the team itself, I could see being taken over by another coach and just like immediately being better, because talent-wise, they're not bad, but they just suck at everything. They suck at tackling. They suck at blocking. They suck at throwing the ball. They suck at running the ball. They can't even snap the ball in special teams. They spit on players. They're like undisciplined. They're stupid. Like, they suck at everything. I'm like,
dude,
this team is not getting better. Like,
how blessed are we to have two spitting incidents within like 2 days of each other? Like,
yeah,
I mean, like, granted, not an NFL show, but like, this just happened like on a nationally televised game. Was it in this defensive lineman's head? Maybe in the pregame was Billy Napier like, "Hey guys, remember, make sure you don't spit on anyone." Ha ha, very funny. And then just like is in this idiot's head. Like, I have
no idea.
No idea.
Of suggestion is very strong.
Jalen Carter got ejected literally instantly, and his thought was, "That was pretty cool. I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do that."
Modeling myself after the professionals I see. That's incredible.
It was worse though, because he did it at a far more damaging time in the game. He didn't just do it in the first. He didn't do it in the first play of the fucking season. He just did it literally when it would have hurt the most. I don't know what more to say other than they need to fire Billy Napier. I don't know if they're financially in a position to do that. Their team is loaded. Frankly, I'm willing to believe that there's a coach on the roster who is not a big name that could probably do a better job. You could fire this guy and get this SEC teams who fire coaches that are bad. You don't have to then spend a crazy amount of money on some brand name coach. You can get a guy that you know about who's already in your program and you can just give them a chance. Georgia Tech was in like god levels of debt and ended up promoting their offensive line coach. And now they are doing way better. So do that. That's all I have to say. Does anyone else before I move on? Because I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I want to give South Florida credit, but they were just like more competent. Florida just sucks.
Yeah.
South Florida have the better quarterback. That was telling to me.
Better backfield, better running back, better quarterback, better defense.
Better kicker, and he missed. He had a 58-yard field goal that was dead accurate, but it was short. It was very weird to watch because it was good up until like the audience had more idea of what happened before I did with several cameras on the broadcast.
Dude, they put the game-winning field goal on the jumbotron during the Auburn game, and it was the reaction from the stadium was hilarious. Like the dude sitting in front of me just turns around and yells, "Billy Napier's getting shit canned, man!" And I was like,
"Yeah."
It is September 7th, and Billy Napier is a dead man. What do we do?
Just keep playing, I guess. This team's gonna be bad. Their schedule's about to get hard. This was the easy part.
This was the easy part. Yeah, because like I mean, their next 6 games: LSU, Miami, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia. Like,
I literally think they could lose every single one of those games.
Yeah, and then they follow that with Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Dude, this could get really ugly.
I really hope I get to see a 1-11 Florida season. That would be glorious.
Dude, if they do just a little worse than Florida State did last year, that'd be fucking hilarious.
It would be poetic, yeah. All right, well, getting out of that disgusting game, good for you, USF. Not to shit on you. I'm glad. I hope you make the playoff. Baylor at SMU. Baylor won 48-45 in double overtime, and man, as I was watching this game, all I could think was, SMU, what are you doing in the ACC? You should be in the Big 12. You're such a Big 12 team. This was such a fun Big 12 game. Kevin Jennings, as I'm watching him, I'm just thinking, based off what you said, John, like maybe he'll be better. No, he won't.
Nope.
He's going to be the exact same QB. He's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be very stupid sometimes. They're run and gun. It's fun. But shockingly, Baylor was down, what? I think they were down 2 scores with 5 minutes left, something like that.
14 points with 5 minutes 34 seconds. I wanted to make sure I got that down.
Yeah,
and then Josh Cameron happened. What a fun player, dude! Wide receiver wearing number 34, always breaks the first 2 hands that touch him. Like he's one of those guys where you think like it's possible. Like no matter what situation Baylor gets in, no matter how far behind they are, their best dimension is the one that gets them back in games quickly. Like that's a fun team to root for. Even though I did see their defense get beaten on the ground and in the air now. I'm a little concerned, but another fun video game team because they're big and they're fast.
Hey man, Dave Aranda's defensive genius mind is working in mysterious ways. But no, I mean, I'm kind of like, this is great for me personally. I'm now a really big Baylor fan. I need them to keep winning games so that Auburn looks better. Sawyer Robertson's really good at throwing the rock, man. They've got some good receivers. They've got Michael Trigg, great tight end. He didn't really do that much in this game, but like Sawyer Robertson's good, and he's gonna throw for 400 yards on, if this trend holds up, every single team he plays against this year. I mean, that is a scary passing offense, man.
Yeah, it's weird too because it doesn't seem like his offensive line is very good. Like he's throwing for a lot, and he doesn't seem to have a lot of time to do it. So that's pretty impressive. And his arm is crazy. Baylor showed a lot of heart. I will say, as I was watching this, the thought occurred to me, and maybe my bias is showing, but I was just watching Baylor and I'm like, is this the least humble team I've ever seen? Like every time they do anything, they're just talking shit and like flexing and stuff. And I'm like, am I getting old, or is this like legitimately the least likable team I've ever seen? Like,
I don't know, dude. I guess it's these Christian schools with an edge. Like the Baylor, TCU, SMU triumvirate sounds very nasty. Like it's funny that like Utah and BYU joined this thing, and it's like not the same thing. Like, like I don't know. I don't want to get too much out of the lines here, but I'm like, what these denominational differences are showing themselves on the field for guys that I don't even know if they're committed to that sort of thing. Honestly, it's just interesting how the conversations go. Yeah.
To bring us back, is Baylor better than we thought they were, or is SMU not as good as we thought they were? Because I didn't walk away feeling like SMU was worse than they were last year. They just caught the wrong side of the coin.
Yeah, I think that Baylor's just like actually a good football team. They're at the very least, they will be able to score enough points to keep up with anyone. And that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that's about how I feel as well.
I mean, it is cool to see a like 2010s era Big 12 game happen again. I feel like it's been a little while. I again, SMU not technically a Big 12 team, but we can move past that.
They should be though, right? It feels
Yeah.
like they should be. As I'm watching this game, I'm just like, oh, what are you guys doing in the ACC? Like this would be awesome. You could be doing this every week. It'd be a blast for everybody.
Well, I don't know. Mate, were they dodging smoke? Baylor has 14 straight against them.
I didn't even know they played that many times.
There's like levels of domination in the sport that go totally unseen by the public. Like this is like some generation of fans has been tormented by Baylor. And I had no idea that was even a thing. Like there's again the mysteries of these denominational differences.
Okay, we should talk about they went double overtime, and SMU's field goal kicker in the second overtime missed the field goal, and then basically Baylor, all they had to do was sit on the ball to kick a field goal to win. But should have SMU have gone for 2 in the first overtime?
There's a couple opportunities, honestly. When Baylor got the game tying touchdown, I was thinking, oh, why not go for 2? Like anyone could have ended this game, and it really was first person to make a mistake that ended up losing. And the kicker, he honestly made me feel so bad. Like as soon as it left his foot, he just like doubled over. Like, oh my god, I'm sick for you.
I don't know. I think the as far as the 2-point thing goes, I'm much more like pro you go for 2 if you have the ball second and you can either tie it or win it or lose it, or like you can go for two and win it or lose it right there. I'm much more in favor of like an underdog or like a physically outmatched team doing that than in something like this. I mean, obviously SMU lost anyways in the second overtime, but when you're on like a similar level, I think that it's less like, oh, that's a total fuck up. Like you aren't going to be able to hang if this goes into like way later overtimes. I don't know. I was fine with the decision to kick that.
Yeah, I mean, they just missed a chip shot field goal. This game probably goes to triple overtime without it, but you know, what are you gonna do? Was there any other stuff on this game? Cool. So the next game was the primetime game at 7:30. Was Michigan at Oklahoma, and I drew a lot of differences from this game. First of all, wow, Oklahoma's fans really came out for this game. It was an awesome environment. And Oklahoma's got a fucking QB, man, and they've got an offense. Like honestly, 24-13. This game could have been like 42-6. Honestly, if a couple things go a different way, there's Oklahoma throws a bad pick, just basically a ball that sails on a wide open tight end route through the seam. They get some penalties, a little sloppy, but it's early. And then on the flip side, Michigan, just their offense was better than last year, but it's still not where it needs to be at all. If they don't get a 75-yard touchdown, their offense put up 6 points. I mean, 2 field goals. It was pretty bad. I think Oklahoma could have won this by a lot. I have a vastly different opinion of Oklahoma now that I've seen their offense. But anyway, sorry, John, do you want to go?
Yeah. So Brent Venables had Bryce Underwood in hell, didn't he? 9 for 24 is yeah. No, dude, I believe in Bryce Underwood as a player. I think that he's going to be really good. It's just like, when you're a true freshman and your second start is you have to go to Norman, I mean, it's going to get dicey, and it got dicey. It stayed dicey the entire game. That's Mateer's a really good player. Watching the game, I didn't realize that he was like racking up the amount of rushing yards that he ended up with. He's
bigger than he like appears. Like until you actually see somebody try and tackle him, and you realize he's a really big guy. I also didn't know he ran like that.
Yeah, he just seems like compact. So he just looks like a bowling ball out there, and you think, well, bowling balls aren't big, but no, he's just round and coming right at
dense.
You. Yeah.
He honestly reminded me of like God, I hate to say this, but like his like attitude or the way he was playing. I was like, shit, I haven't seen this in Oklahoma since like Baker. he looked exactly. Did he not kind of feel like it a little bit? I mean, I know one guy won a fucking Heisman, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just acknowledging, like Oklahoma hasn't had some fucking swagger back there in a while.
So, do you think by week 8 we're gonna have John Mateer like doing a crotch grab against like Mississippi State or some like ass SEC team?
I don't want to get too far into the future with this game because we'll start talking about like Texas and shit. But I feel vastly better about Oklahoma. Josh, were you able to catch this?
Yeah, that was the thing for me. I think this was like Venables' like second best win. Like not only like the one over Alabama last year was like, very important. I think like sent them to a bowl game. Like they needed it badly. But then you have just looking sharp. Like when's the last time you felt like the Oklahoma program was like trending upward? It had been a couple of years. Sooner Magic became a phrase that people were saying. Like I think they needed this, and they needed it to look as pristine as it was. I mean, there was some stat about Michigan they were 0-5 when trailing at halftime, and then 9-0 when taking a lead into halftime. And I feel like with their passing offense, like becoming a thing, they're at least attempting to do it again. I feel like that could change, but it definitely did not feel like that night was the time it was going to happen.
I think it's just like all Venables needed was an offensive coordinator, to finally come in because now he's just blitzing. He's doing his thing. He doesn't have to play as conservative with his defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got in a groove defensively about how they were playing, without some stupid penalties because Oklahoma was a little sloppy this game. They had a little bit too much energy at times, but yeah, I mean, I think they look really good. My question is this just overreacting to beating a Michigan team that may not be that good?
I've seen good teams lose to teams that aren't that good, and them not even making it close is just a good enough sign to be like, all right, yeah, that they can compete in the SEC. They'll be fine.
John, do you think Michigan's like what? Is this Michigan team better than last year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they don't just have like a complete void at the most important position on the field. Like that's number one. That's going to help. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they were ranked.
Yeah, a lot of teams are ranked that I'm a little confused by, but whenever it's week 2,
yeah,
3, yeah, you can let it slide. But they're ranked because they're Michigan and they're playing Oklahoma and they want that to be ranked. That's the real answer.
But hey, it just makes big matchup in 2 weeks that much more spicy. Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I think when Michigan gets into Big Ten play, they'll be fine. But that's just how it's going to be for a little. If they go against a dynamic offense, this is probably what it's going to look like for this year. But like you said, Josh, they did try and have a more dynamic offense, which is absolutely a step in the right direction. So I will take it. Anything else on this game?
Oklahoma's going to have to, if we're talking about them as like, okay, SEC contender, all this stuff, figure out your special teams, dude. Like, learn how to field a kick return. Learn how to field a punt or just clear it. Like, there was a time where Iowa State wasn't even, like, returning punts. They just said, fair catch, don't fuck it up, because it's been a net negative. So, if you want to benefit from your really good quarterback and your defense that can afford to be more aggressive, you're going to have to be good in that third phase. Against a true freshman quarterback, you can get away with it, but I don't know. Say the Texas game gets tight. You don't want special teams to be the reason that you drop this game now.
It's kind of crazy because it's like when I see a defensive guy TM head coach, like I just assume that your special teams are going to be like buttoned up as well. Like if you're a real flashy hotshot offensive coordinator with a scheme wiggle. Like I expect Lane Kiffin's teams to have bad special teams. And I think that's just comes with the territory, but I don't expect it from a guy like Venables.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, the defensive oriented coaches have not done that at all in their careers so far. Things are changing. Okay, also there was another Big 12 game. Well, I guess it's not a Big 12 game anymore, but Kansas at Missouri.
Okay. No, you don't. This has not been a Big 12 game for like 14 years.
When I was alive, they were in the Big 12. They should never have joined the SEC. I'm never going to back down from that. Anyway, Kansas played at Missouri. Missouri won 42-31. The score makes it seem like it was not as close of a game. It was a very close game. It's just like if Kansas could be a little bit more buttoned up, they could have won this game. They started off so well. That first quarter was great. And then the second and third quarters, they kind of just petered around. They just kept getting in their own way. In the fourth quarter, they almost brought it back. But, Missouri was able to run the ball and was just a little bit more buttoned up. So that I think that was honestly a difference. And Missouri threw the ball a little bit better than I thought. They had better QB play than expected. John, what did you think of this?
It's weird. I think that Missouri is good. Question mark. Like, we made so much of how they lost, those great receivers, and they were basically getting pity ranked all last year until they started losing some games. And I thought all of last year that they were overrated. And I don't know, this year might be what they thought they were going to get when they had Luther Burden.
Absolutely. I think Missouri's good. So is Kansas. Like, I don't feel horrible about them either. They were right there. I think Missouri, I don't know if they'll be able to I don't know if their offense is quite this explosive. Like, I think this was just two racetrack teams playing against each other, but I thought their running game was pretty good too. Like, they had I like their running back quite a bit. He runs hard. Like, he's a banger, like, when he runs, which is quite refreshing to see out of Missouri. This was I don't know. Yeah, Josh.
I feel like you mentioned you picked Missouri to win this one based on their talent, and watching this game, I definitely felt like that was the case. Like, the vision for Kansas offensively is a pretty one. And this was the first time I felt like that machine had, like, missing parts. Like, they just did not have the same, like, receiving talent or, like, running back talent, or the way that they needed to set up, like, their ground game was just so much more complicated than what Missouri could pull off and be very successful with. Like, if Kansas needed to get 4 yards, Jalen Daniels is a factor in that every single time. Either the threat of him rushing it himself, or passing and then scrambling, or just handing it off, just didn't seem like something that you could rely on. When you need 4 yards, Jalen Daniels has to be the guy that gets it. For Missouri, you can hand it off. You can run play action. You can throw that short pass. You have it. And then a guy can break tackles and get 30 afterwards. So, I mean, I don't know if that's how they'll be for the rest of the season, but against Kansas, it seemed to be enough, especially when it was just so messy. Like, this game was chaotic in the first half. Like, I wrote down like a list, like a sequence. There was a touchdown with a blocked PAT, a fumble that was retained by the same team, another touchdown, then a different responding touchdown, a sack at the 13 that turned into a fumble and a safety that was then added another 3 points, and then it was tied at halftime. Like, both teams weathered a storm. like I feel, again, I respect rivalry games, dude. Like, college football is wonky enough, and then you add this extra layer. Like, this was something else. I don't know. I feel like I just watched like a house explosion. Like, pieces are everywhere, and I'm just glad I'm still standing here.
It was a Big 12 rivalry game with a team that should be in the Big 12 and isn't. That's what you're feeling right now. You're like, that was fun and chaotic, and that should have been in the Big 12. That's all I'll say.
Good for them to keep playing these games. We need more games like this. I was looking at Kansas and Missouri 2 years ago thinking, like, man, who's Kansas playing? Lindenwood. Who's Missouri playing? Algona Community College. Like, this sucks. Like, they should be playing each other. And then sure enough, finally, rivalry renewed.
Yeah. It's good they're playing. You're right that Kansas didn't quite have the talent to get them over the hump. Their tight end's really good. I'll say that.
Deshaun Hanukkah?
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
Former Cyclone Deshaun Hanukkah?
I didn't know he was a former Cyclone, actually. That's really bad.
That's right.
I'm a fake fan.
Well, it was 2022 that he got to start, so I understand.
Yeah, but either way, he was good. They got running backs. They got Jalen Daniels. It's not all quite there. They'll get better.
I mean, Kansas finished the day with 3 rushing yards accounted for it. Now, most of that is wiped off the board because of the 25-yard safety, the fumble safety, offensive lineman. There's an offensive lineman on Kansas who's credited with negative 25 yards because he fell on the ball in the end zone. So that's taking away a lot of it. But 3 yards that's tough.
That's fair. Missouri's just a little bit better in general. But you're right. I'm glad they're playing. Well, I don't feel bad about either team going forward. Was there anything else on this game?
We're being too nice, and we're not being decisive enough here in the early season. It's week 2. We need to be overreacting to these games. Kansas is ass, and they will never win again.
The dynasty is dead.
The dynasty's over.
Okay, this next game, honestly, I think was the best game of the day, and kind of under talked about, which was Arizona State at Mississippi State. Mississippi State won 24-20. All right. Arizona State had like one of the worst starts I've ever seen like to a football game. They were playing like dog shit. And they just honestly, like I when I saw the score initially, I thought that Arizona State, they're so much worse than they were last year. Honestly, if they just don't have that terrible start, that team was a very solid team. Like, I would not be surprised if Arizona State goes in the Big 12 play. It is very good. It seems like they just had an awful start. And Mississippi State got ahead, and they bled their lead for almost the entire game because they just couldn't stop the run. And then finally, in the last 2 minutes, got a miracle on that deep pass. And I didn't realize, I think Mississippi State's QB is Blake Shapen from Baylor. I was like, he's not that bad. Good for you guys. You guys got him. Like I said, a true upset, because I don't even think Arizona State is only fake ranked. I think they are kind of legit good. And Mississippi State caught them slipping.
Yeah, tough game for Sam Leavitt.
Oh, wait, sorry. What were you going to say, Josh?
Sorry. They played a close game last year before people knew Arizona State was good. People, including myself. And, I think, what is it? The spread was pretty close. I think people kind of saw this coming. It was just, stylistically a bad matchup for them for whatever reason. But I know, the big, question for ASU was, now that post-Scatterboo, what does your quarterback have now that he's the one carrying the load? And Udo, the Army transfer, was, suitable stylistically, similar guy, but it was really tough watching them get stopped inside the 5 and having to kick a field goal instead of taking a touchdown right before the 2-minute warning. And that's where I think, geez, this is a little on the nose on what do you do post Scatterboo? This is literally the difference. Mm-hmm. And to watch it all break down with I don't even know. I think a safety just bit too hard on a wheel route.
They had a switching. Mississippi State had two players running a scissor concept, and they just got mixed up on the switch, and I think they got the right play at the right time. They caught Arizona State sleeping. Yeah, I mean, they just didn't have they didn't have Scatterboo, basically. I thought Leavitt. It's interesting, John, that you said you thought it was a tough game for him, because he didn't throw the ball that well, but I really respect the way he plays, because when he runs, he does not slide, which is my biggest pet peeve of all QBs. He plays so hard. He does not slide. He ran the ball well. He really I thought he dragged them back into this game. He was dodging defensive linemen back there. So, it's interesting. Did you think? Yeah. What did you think? Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's just really, the last play that Arizona State ran on offense just left a bad taste in my mouth. Which, like, I mean, I know there was only 30 seconds left, so like you would really be asking for a lot, or a minute, or however much there was.
It was 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah. So just, it sucks that it was just a failure to launch immediately, and like we didn't even get to see them start working the ball down the field.
I think someone hit his hand and that affected the pass. Like,
there was something weird on the release where it just like, it was like a death, and it was just like over immediately. But hey, Mississippi State, as I was watching, I was like, wow, I haven't seen a home crowd at Mississippi State game in a while. I was like, wow, there are people there. I mean, it wasn't a full stadium, but there were fans in the stands, which I didn't even think they had that anymore. So I'm glad they needed.
There was enough of them to tear down the goalposts afterwards. Like, what? That's why I wanted to ask you guys, like, SEC historians, what is this the best Mississippi State win since
Dak Prescott? Probably.
Probably.
I think
I was hoping that wouldn't be the answer.
I think literally the first year of the playoff, the 4-team playoff, was the last time that they had anything good to cheer for.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right, because I saw a video where some guy at Barstool, I guess, is a Mississippi State grad or something, and he made a video like hyping the game, telling people to go to Starkville, and in the video he's talking about like the high moments of Mississippi State's program, and his like example that he mentioned was in 2014 when we were number 1 and Auburn came to town and highly ranked and we beat them. And it's like, dude, it's such a different world that Mississippi State lives in, that it's like the high water mark for the program is they were ranked number 1 time 11 years ago, beat a team, and then finished outside the playoff race. Like,
that was an awesome Mississippi State team.
It was, but it's Mississippi State. I mean,
yeah. I'm happy for that. Listen, I'm glad that they had something to cheer for. They haven't had a lot to cheer for. They deserve it.
Yeah. Good for them.
It was an awesome game though. Like, as a spectator, if I was a Mississippi State fan in the stands in college and we're up and I'm watching us bleed away this loss, and then we're bleeding away the win, and then we get this big play at the end to win the game, I would be going crazy. I mean, like, children were conceived like yesterday. like it was crazy. You know?
That should be the index by which we judge whether games are good or not. Is like, was it a big enough win for there to be a noticeable jump in 9 months at the hospital?
Yeah, the population spike. Yeah. All right. Did we have anything else on that one? Awesome. So I think we have some shout outs. The first one was that Troy almost beat Clemson. The final score didn't end up being that close, but I was watching that shit. Clemson, your ass. You played like shit. Troy almost beat you. You were down 13 points at half. You're off. Oh my God. Clemson's offense is in danger zone. And you know what? Their defense was like the only reason they were scoring any points, frankly, because they were just getting turnovers. But Clemson's offense is in a bad place right now. So that's shout out Troy. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. That like Troy goes up by 3 like pretty early on. Then there's a lengthy weather delay, right? Mm-hmm. And then after the delay, Troy grew their lead. Like, that's the kind of thing where you expect like a team at Clemson's position in the sport. Yeah, maybe you come out flat and you like let the other team score a field goal or maybe a touchdown or whatever. But then you typically turn it on, and like when the fact that Troy like was extending a lead at one point is wild.
Yeah, it was looking like not only will Clemson lose, Clemson's going to get blown out. Like, it was looking that bad. Josh, did you like see this like on your phone? Like, you just like
no, this was all terrifying to me. So many Clemson priors in danger.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Dabo's radio show appearance where he gets mad at his own fan base for them almost losing to Troy, but we'll see. We'll see. Next game was West Virginia lost to Ohio 17-10. This is you, Josh, right?
Well, being a Big 12 team that loses on the road to Ohio in a low-scoring game, been there. And it doesn't have to be the graveyard. Maybe your coach yells at a fan and then turns it into a top 20 program. Who knows? But I don't know. We all knew it was going to be a tough hill. We knew they'd have to trust the climb over in West Virginia with Rich Rod this year, but it sucks that the bottom seems to have fallen out. This is the first time I watched Parker Navarro play for any extended amount of time, so that's fun. He reminds me of former UNI quarterback Will McIlvain. Like that's my player comp for him. So almost losing to him or just outright losing stinks. Sorry.
Is Ohio good? I literally don't know.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, they didn't have like this perfect game. Like West Virginia is just bad. Like that's all the takeaway is. Like we knew they would be bad. It was like who would be like the worst Big 12 team? Like Arizona, West Virginia, and Kansas State has entered the race. But it's looking like West Virginia now.
Well, it's good. I mean, fuck West Virginia. I'm glad they're bad. So.
Why are you getting back with your ex, man? What do you think Rich Rod is bringing to the table?
They don't know what else to
Granted,
do.
he's had a good few years, like out in Jacksonville State, right?
Mm-hmm.
UNLV at one point, maybe. I don't know, but yeah,
they just don't know what to do with their loss, so they went back. That's basically what it is. Okay, Missouri State got their first FBS win with a 21-20 win over Marshall. Was that you, Josh?
Yes. Shout out to Missouri State, dude. That's really it. Just getting on the board, finding another program that's in a bad state and taking advantage. Like, again, it's hard to say with some of the like Sun Belt, like G5 type teams. Like, is this just a bad week or are they just poorly coached? And I think they're poorly coached and also have lacking talent.
The weak prey on the weaker. That's what they
exactly. But for Missouri State, I mean, what a night for them. That's all.
Okay, number 11 Illinois at Duke. They won 45-19, but Duke hung tough for like a while. The game got away from them, but they did hang tough. Also, I always forget that Illinois is coached by freaking he's like he looks like an offensive lineman.
Brett Bielema.
Brett Bielema, yeah, from where he was in Arkansas.
He's
still going strong. He's pretty good now. They've actually recovered. He's done a great job at Illinois.
They're top 10 now. This was a damn good win. Like, I was looking at this as like, oh, this is one of those like fun, like kind of under the radar games. Like when we were looking at ACC games specifically, I'm like, ooh, this one's kind of nice. And it didn't end up very nice. So like, I'm legitimately looking out for Illinois. Like Luke Altmaier being one of the better quarterbacks in the sport right now. Like that's a lot more than you can say for some of these like really established like programs that are still figuring it out under center.
Altmaier was pretty good last year, I thought.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just weird to see a Brett Bielema team with a good quarterback. Like I'm just not used to it. Like I forgot. You know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna go down memory lane when he was at Arkansas because I think they had some good QBs like back then. But anyway, whatever. It's fine. Sorry, what were you gonna say, John?
I'm trying to remember if Ryan Mallett was in the Bielema era at Arkansas, but like you said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I like watching Darian Mensah play. I know Duke, let it go at the end, but Mensah's a good player, man.
Duke's not gonna be that bad. They hung around. The game definitely they played like 2.5 quarters really well. Illinois is a legitimately good team, so you can't feel too bad about it. They gotta get some better fan attendance though. That stadium was not what it needed to be for a home ranked game. Anyway, okay. Army at Kansas State. Army won 24-21. The Ireland curse continues. That is like my main conclusion. Kansas State is down bad for this year.
Army just lost to Tarleton State. This is like funny that we're following like shout outs week to week.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
for Army to see another purple team on the schedule and be like, not this time. On the road is pretty impressive. I mean, sometimes you do need those like really rough losses to really refocus your program. And it does feel kind of silly having like an undisciplined like Army Service Academy team. So our nation's in good hands, apparently. I'm not sure what's going on with Kansas State. It really is just a curse.
John, did you?
It would be funny if every team that loses in Ireland goes 2-10.
It's looking that way. I'm kind of scared for Kansas State because they have a good coach, but they're also one of those programs where if they go back to being bad, like they might not come back.
Yeah.
Like Bill Snyder worked his entire fucking life to get you guys to be to a certain level, and if they mess up the handoff, then it's done. So there's like that risk. This season looks like it's gonna be bad. Army's still doing the triple, right? Are they still doing the triple?
Kind of. Not as like 100% as they were like 2 or 3 years ago. They had a little thing where Monken was like, we're gonna modernize and we're gonna try and run like a offense that includes the godless forward pass. But then they like lost games and almost immediately moved back to it. So it's not like a full-blooded triple only. They mix it up a little bit more than they used to, but yeah, it's pretty close.
Maybe I'm looking for excuses for Kansas State. I'm like, well, maybe they got caught flat-footed. Sometimes you play the triple and the triple gets you. It happens. All right. I think we can pick our next week's games and then get out of here. So
no, I've got to give a shout out to Auburn, man. Let's go. 42-3 over Ball State. Ball is not a state. What the hell?
And you were unhappy, weren't you?
I was unhappy watching the game because there was a lot of the passing offense felt dink and dunk from like in the stadium. Like not a lot of trying to go explosive, but like Jackson Arnold he made all of those plays. He completed all of them. Only threw 4 incompletions. Defense looked awesome. Again, it's Ball State. They were sitting in like a really soft zone, almost a pretty deep soft zone almost the entire night. So they were just like, Hugh Freeze did the thing again. This is now 2 weeks in a row. He took what the defense gave him. Like it's weird. I don't expect it from him. I don't know how long it's going to keep up this year, but hey, a win, maybe not a big one. Kick the shit out of a worse team.
Caught yourself there, didn't you?
yeah. I realized that was going to be ridiculous. Our backup quarterback looks really bad. He came in for some mop-up duty towards the end. Let's see. Yeah, no, but Auburn's ranked now. We're getting our respect for beating Baylor a week late. Gearing up for a ranked matchup, hopefully in 2 weeks against Oklahoma. That should be fun. Now we just got to not trip on our own dicks against South Alabama next week.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's not any mention of Sooner Magic in 2 weeks, so we'll see. Okay, now we can pick next week's games, and up and down slate, in my opinion, and weird that some of these games are being played when they are, but it's a brave new world. What can I say?
You mean messed up?
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive. I mean, the upside is at least they're happening earlier, so it's more entertaining to watch them earlier, I guess. First game is Georgia at Tennessee. Josh, did you want to pick this?
I am gonna go Georgia. Tennessee will just have to prove it to me. I am not gonna think too hard about it. Any of these, I'm going from the gut.
I feel that, John.
Yeah, it's Georgia. Come on.
Okay, I'll say Georgia, but they look like shit right now. It's just they're playing Tennessee, and we're really good against Tennessee because they run a high school offense. That's usually how it goes.
They're missing Alex Golish. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's true. Who did Georgia even play this last week?
we played some cupcake, but we played like shit. I don't
Okay,
even like.
cool.
There was a weather delay, which admittedly messed up, but I think we won 28-6. It was not a good performance, and Stockton looked horrible. So, looks like
Nice.
might be a bad season on offense. But anyway, Georgia. Next game, Clemson at Georgia Tech. John.
Give me Tech, dude. I don't care. If I'm gonna be made to look like an idiot over my preseason pick with Clemson, with how good I thought they were gonna be, I kind of want them to just do it right, do it the whole way, just start losing these games. Like, and also like if you play as sloppy as you did against Troy, you know, you lost to LSU by what should have been multiple touchdowns, but was only one, whatever. I mean, that's at least a respectable loss, but like they just look so bad against Troy. I don't. Playing like that is going to bite them. I don't know what week it'll be, but it could very well be this week.
Josh.
Haynes King reigns supreme. He's running through Clemson, and we're gonna have to deal with more Dabo discourse.
I also am going to go with Georgia Tech, which is shocking that all three. And I also picked Clemson to be in the national championship. So I'm definitely going back on that. Yeah, I think Georgia Tech at home, I think they're going to win. All right, Wisconsin at Alabama. Josh?
What? You know what? I'm going to follow my gut again. Wisconsin does it.
Wow.
I don't think they should, but that's what my gut said.
John?
Yeah, I've got Alabama. I don't think that Wisconsin's good. And I think that, while I don't think that Alabama is all that great, I mean, they did just whoop the life out of Louisiana Monroe. So that pick was a great one. Good job for us Warhawk heads. But no, I mean, the lower level of quality Alabama is still better than like a bad Wisconsin team, and they're playing in Tuscaloosa. I don't think it has to be too complicated.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm going with Alabama. Okay, Arkansas at Ole Miss. John?
Ole Miss. And sigh, Ole Miss is all I want to say about that.
Josh?
I feel like I forget what's Arkansas's quarterback's name.
I literally don't know. It's not even information I'm forgetting. I never knew.
No, he's like kind of good, but he's inefficient, and I can't remember his name, but he's not getting this one.
Taylen Green.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I feel like I need to at least know his name before I said anything about the team. And yeah, fucking Ole Miss. Do we really want to pick this game? Do any of us care? This just feels like one of those SEC games that has to happen.
I chose this just because Ole Miss looked really bad against Kentucky. Like they
Why?
almost lost to Kentucky, so I was like, yeah, I'll put it on.
Why is this one happening in week 3?
All these games are happening at the wrong time now.
Well, yeah, but like at least with Georgia, Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia Tech, like these teams play a non-conference game at the very end of the year, like. So they have to start their conference play a week early. These two teams don't. What are they doing? Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask the league office. Texas A&M at Notre Dame. Josh?
I'll go Notre Dame.
How about you, John?
Notre Dame. I don't really love what I've seen from A&M so far this year.
Yeah, I'm Notre Dame as well. Florida at LSU. John?
The death walk starts, brother. I mean, I guess it already started this last week, but like it continues, man. LSU by 1 million, probably.
Josh?
I feel like this will be fun. I feel like this is our chance to really pat Brian Kelly on the back and be like, "Wow, good job, sir. You really showed them."
I think Florida's gonna win because that's the stupidest outcome possible. Because I'm thinking like LSU's kind of built up on beating Clemson, who evidently isn't that good, and Florida's really down. I'm gonna go with Florida because why not? All right, last game, Vanderbilt at South Carolina, a number 10 ranked South Carolina, I may add. Josh,
South Carolina just smoked Virginia Tech, and then did something else I can't remember. That's the lasting image in my mind. I'll go with them.
John?
Yeah. I'll take South Carolina. I don't know. This is like I don't like that these teams have to play each other because I want them to both be like wrecking balls through the rest of the SEC. I don't want them to have to play each other.
I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's better. I think the South Carolina team's a little overrated. That's my take. Number 10 South Carolina at home this early, they can't win. It's not possible. Not allowed.
Here's what's gonna happen is South Carolina is gonna be down by 3 points with like 4 minutes or 3 minutes left in the game. And Lenoris is going to take the contacts off and put the goggles back on and lead a game-winning drive. And it, as has been said, it'll be written or whatever the hell.
All right, well, those were all the picks for this week. I think we'll catch everyone in a week from now, and we'll sign out with that. Well, was there anything I'm forgetting before I close it out?
Shout out Brock Purdy. Led a game-winning drive against the Seahawks. Let's fucking go.
Miss me with that NFL shit. I don't know. I literally don't even watch the NFL.
It's Cyhawk weekend still, and this was incredible for me.
All right. Well, we'll close it out with that one. Go Brock Purdy. Go 49ers.